Kravchenko must die.
I left you to rot in Vietnam, Sergeant Woods. You should be dead.
Nobody told me.
Hey, welcome back everyone. So we have discovered that a number of new zombie maps are already being teased in Cold War, and it's all very low key, which is why people don't really seem to realize it, and that's why I wanted to share it with the community here today. And now what I have found will seriously blow your mind, like it did to me when I found it. The new Season 2 content has completely changed what we know and expect from Zombies DLC, so we had to go ahead and reevaluate all the maps which have been teased to us. You have to go back to the Cold War Zombies reveal when the intro cutscene teased to us a bunch of different map locations, including Vietnam, which we have here. It turned out to be Firebase Z, then the Ural Mountains in Russia, and finally Berlin. Well, it turns out we were reading some of it completely wrong. The Ural Mountains one was never Mount Yamantau. Oops, my bad. That theory has basically come to the end. That map is dead in the water. It never existed. And that entire time, every single teaser and hint for the Ural Mountains was just for this Season 2 Outbreak mode. So it looks like the next map, the next standard DLC 2 map, is going to be Berlin, which was teased here in the intro cutscene, and ever since Cold War has released, since day one, there is a map of Berlin just sitting in your Zombies Creator Class menu, and recently in Firebase Z there is this map of a world which shows some different Dark Aether Outbreak locations, and one of the markers is directly over Berlin, and the likely release date for Berlin would be the end of Season 2 or start of Season 3, which would be some point in April, which actually fits a very similar schedule to Black Ops 3 and also just other Zombies games. It's normally DLC 2 drops in April at some point. That explains 2 DLC maps, but of course there is always normally 4, so that's why you need to look deeper into this world map in Firebase Z. It's literally showing Dark Aether Outbreak locations that the Russians are monitoring. Now, to be honest, looking at it, some of these Dark Aether incursion areas are just multiplayer maps for the PlayStation only, like Onslaught mode, you know, where you fight zombies in multiplayer maps, and that's how it fits into the story. Then there are other locations which are the new Zombies maps, because as of right now they are totally unexplained and unexplored locations. The first one which really caught my eye was Afghanistan, which seemed totally random at first until I remembered that Cold War is set in the 1980s, and during that time there was a conflict going on in Afghanistan. Who would have guessed conflict in Afghanistan? It was the Soviet-Afghan War, which you do actually see in the Black Ops 2 mission, Old Wounds. And then, not gonna lie, I was thinking about all this, and it was 5 AM in the morning that this popped into my mind, that in that mission, Old Wounds, in Afghanistan in the 1980s, you come across Kravchenko, and Alex Mason finally finishes his brainwashing mission of, you know, Dragovich, Kravchenko, Steiner, they all must die, and he kills Kravchenko, and of course, because Cold War is set before this, Kravchenko is still alive, and he is the leader of the Omega Group. He's literally the main bad guy in Cold War Zombies. And it's in Afghanistan where his story ends. Man, I could not sleep when this popped into my mind. I was like, that is mad. Yeah, you gotta think, like, why was he in Afghanistan? Why were the Russians there? Maybe it's the Omega Group, and it's all to do with the Dark Aether and the future map we're gonna see, because it just fits too perfectly into the storyline.
That's not gonna happen.
There is another unexplained Dark Aether anomaly right there over Havana in Cuba, which we have not seen at all in Cold War, but Havana was a Black Ops 1 multiplayer map. Okay, the pieces of a puzzle are falling together nicely because I've done some more digging, and it turns out there is actually a Cold War mission, End of the Line, which takes place in Cuba, and it says it's south of Havana. So we could definitely see a Zombies version of this mission and location, because, you know, we see Vietnam in both modes, and Berlin too. Like, I'm sure the Berlin Zombies map will have places and use assets from the Berlin campaign mission. Also, don't forget that Fidel Castro, the Cuban leader, worked with Dragovich and Kravchenko. Don't forget that Castro is literally a Zombies character in the map 5, which takes place in the Pentagon, and as you see in 2 different maps here on Firebase Z, there is 100% unmistakably a Dark Aether outbreak at Washington DC, so it could be some kind of remaster of 5, or maybe White House Zombies with Ronald Reagan. I'm not sure. Also, the Dark Aether is breaching in New York City, which to me seems a bit random and doesn't really fit. Like, it doesn't have any significance to real Cold War events like the other zombie map locations, so I don't really know what's going on there. But to me, it looks like Berlin is up next 100%, and then the other 2 maps, DLC 3 and 4, would be Afghanistan and Cuba, because both those locations are teased here and also fit into the Black Ops 1 and Cold War storyline just too perfectly almost. Anyways lads, that's it for today, so stay spicy and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.